Well, there's another piece of artwork that kind of, as you can see, is awful. I tried, but I think I failed ultimately. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, because the intent is to use this as my sort of mascot. Because, you know, I kind of like the gimmick and miss it as well when bands and artists have like mascots represented them, or even just an appearance. And mine is sort of like, I don't know if the right term is like cutesy. It's always been a sort of interesting sort of thing like that. Because with my logo and stuff, I already do stuff like that, and it represents my style perfectly. Because I'm not necessarily like a musician who makes dark music. I'm just someone who makes music in general. It's not like a defined thing, and obviously there's the logo. I made that in like, I think, one sitting. I think it took me under an hour. No, actually probably 2 hours, because I redefined the letters. I think I drew them myself. But yeah, like, see the elements of this, got the colouring and that, the sort of gradient, sort of purple bit. Fucking hell. What else is there? I'm trying to think what else there is. There's not really much to talk about, but I'll go through everything one by one, starting with the references. I used a lot of references. You could probably see. Probably might be worth turning them all off. Can you do that on this? I never remember, no. Goes no. Nurse shift, no. Right. Yeah, I'll go through the process, why not? Because it's sort of my style of doing things, and also that's not a reference, that's nothing. This is what I use as a VST in my music. It's important. I try to reference everything I use with music, and I've managed to do it, I think. And did it in each way possible, so obviously, if I were playing bass, I'd play bass, but if I was using VST, I would use this. So that's my reference for the bass. This is another concept I had. I thought about making it a free neck, but it didn't make sense, because if I made it a free neck, then I'd need to add another bit, and that'd be hard to film. I probably could have fit it in the long run, but again, I sort of didn't make sense of the lack of fan frets. It didn't really work with that. So I didn't use that. And then what we've got here, we've got a flower, reference that for the head. It's a bit of a weird order. Here's the Hydra, Shreddage Hydra. I use this as my VST for some reason it's stretched, I don't know why. It's a bit of a strange thing I did. It's probably, no, I'm not sure actually. I could say perspective, but it doesn't look like perspective. I use that as a reference. Hang on a sec. I think I've botched it. Maybe not. Seems alright. I think I've got the spacing down actually, so that sort of revives it. There are some issues, obviously, as I'll point out later. Another reference, I tried to do like a rope thing, because I wanted to sort of make a mix of like nature and just, you know, different things like fantasy saying. Which is what I kind of put my music under. It's more like a fantasy sort of thing, and yeah. And then there's the sketch. I should probably enable this because it hurts my eyes. I forget about that. Also got a darker one, so that's a bit better. So this was like the initial concept, and yeah, I think I managed that. There was going to be a bow tie, I decided not to. It's more natural. That was the original Rose design, or was it? It might have been the old one, I copy actually. And then I did that along with the sketch, like the additional overlay parts. I don't really do that. Then tuners I tried to trace over them because I couldn't draw them. The plate isn't anything, it's just a thingy for perspective. I tried to copy this with the tuner, didn't really work. bassy bridge. I copied that from the Ormsby actually, and I think the Hydra is actually based on an Ormsby guitar. I could be mistaken. Then for the leaves pattern in the guitar, I use this black hole. I use that for the inlay. And I copied that for the wood, I believe. Yeah, the top wood. There's a fretboard one actually, and this as well. I love this wood. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a cool name on it though. It's like Moon Ebony or something. Moon Ebony. It's one of the coolest fucking ones out there for a fretboard. Honestly, it's so good. I'd consider getting one if I could be bothered. And then I tried to copy some other top woods for the other designs. I've got these different images here, so I didn't source them properly. I was kind of in a hurry to make this because I need to move on. And more wood, some scurvers in obviously, make beautiful guitars. Mine still in the works, fun fact. And then we go through this. So, I see I can't turn them on and off, that's the problem. Yeah, I'll just go through it like from top to bottom. My style is sort of, I've never done like a furry style before, except for the shadows. I've done that, I did that on the last image. But I've never really done like the detail, like the tone. And I used the wood pattern to achieve that, rather than fur brush, because I think the fur brush is a bit weird. It doesn't really work, because it's supposed to get all the fibres and stuff and everything in between, but it doesn't really work in my opinion. It's a bit shit, so I don't use that. There's no point. So I ended up using the wood pattern and blurring it manually to sort of make it. And where is the thing I put there? It's like a fur copy, yeah. You can see the original. It looks too kind of like bloody, like too combed. So I didn't do that in the end. I just did a bit down, a bit blurred, and hard light as well, since that sort of fixed it. Also there's the flowers as well, so tying into that. I probably should have maybe made it a bit less obvious. But I don't know, I'm not an artist, I'm not good at it. There's no point really. And I obviously tried to do it my style. I did have my reference image, but I sort of failed. I could never draw eyes properly. And I just love this style because it's like a mix between chibi and just anime. That's all the point. And yeah, but also the most non-binary looking ass. The same with this character, who I'm calling Exoshi, or Exisho? No, it's Exisho, I think. I just decided to mix like a bit of each of like the former stuff, like I made Shouldering Existence, because that was like a channel I had and decided not to keep because there's no point. I might as well keep all the music in one place. But sort of named, I can't remember the name again. Exisho. I think Exisho is probably better. Named them after the band, or whatever they call it, the pen name, because that's sort of where it is. Again, it sort of represents myself in a way. That's why you have these sort of vibrant colours and also kind of dark aspects. So you've got the torn up shirt, as you'll see later. I see whiskers and stuff. That's Barat furry traits, lazy eyebrows, shadowy nose, muzzle. See that? Cute smile. Yeah, as far as it goes, and I drew a neck. Yay. Neck works. And the purple eyes is decided because purple. There's no reason. Going down, so you got the MIDI keyboard here with the presets and stuff, like for the drums. I probably could have done more buttons, to be fair. It doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, let's see, fluffy tail. I forgot to say, Exisho is a fox. I decided to go with fox this time. Makes the most sense to me, because I think foxes are my favourite animal. And it makes more sense to have a fox. Yeah, I tried to do some pretty advanced shadows and did a crappy keyboard. It's like a small keyboard, I guess. It sort of goes around the back, sort of hooked onto the strap here as well. Weirdly enough, you could just like swap it around, that's the other thing. Although you kind of have to play it weirdly, so maybe it's not a good idea, it just hooks on, I guess. Obviously the strap is based on vines. Decided to like do a twisty thing. I did try to do it like a rope, but I couldn't figure it out. So I ended up putting these weird braided pans instead, and it kind of works, kind of doesn't. And then we go on to the shirt, the peace sign, and then the trousers. Let's just get that out of the way. Nothing there. But yeah, like now we get into these bits. Guitar, and as you can see, this is like a guitar Frankenstein. It's got all the different woods. It took me a while to do. I did wood patterns on bits of this to make it hard to find. I can't remember how I did like the buckeye bell, that's it. But the poplar bell's kind of hard to do as well. Buckeye bell was weird enough easier. But yeah, and then I did quilted maple, I did flame maple, and did that standard top wood there, and did another top wood as you saw, swamp ass, as I call it. Leaves, gold hardware, resin. I like the resin in this. This is basic resin. That's kind of the point, it makes it look really cool. It's like the guitar of, or the bass guitar of life. That's basically what it represents. And then, yeah, the inlays got different leaves. I'm supposed to light up. Didn't do a good job of it though. Can't really figure out, to be honest. Especially trying to make it defined like that with the outlines. And then up here, more resin, and you got the cool headstock. Sort of curves a bit. Strings are pretty basic. Yeah, there's not much else to say on this really. Yeah, the pickup's a bit misaligned, but I'm not an artist. I did warn you. Yeah, the tone swap is like a little sort of thing. And then this guitar, the 8-string guitar, represents the destruction. It's kind of the heavier part of it. And it's obviously it's on fire, it's got magma and stuff and lava and rock. Hence the tone and the metal. That represents different things. You've got gems here as well. Crazy pickups. Yeah, the fretboard especially is like pretty impressive. I should show the fretboards about the things after. But like the inlays, I think they're cool. Sort of represents the galaxy, and obviously like the black hole is like, again, the destruction, same with stars. And also this cool headstock looking thing. It's not very shapely, but it's as good as it's going to get. Yeah, and just typical metal hardware and nothing else there, really. So frame hand. I like to think I'm playing something harmony there. Yeah, probably not. And the tone cable thing, which I'm quite happy with. Again, it sort of represents nature and stuff. It's got the metal end as well, so it sort of balances out. Let's go around through and then show off the woods themselves. So yeah, and then we go to the inlay. Who's the inlay? That line is still there, I believe. For some reason, this one. Why is that still there? Black hole, there we go. So I kind of did this by doing a wood pattern, doing like curvy stuff. And then I increased the size and went over it a bit. It sort of made it a bit blurry, but it kind of works still, especially from a distance. And did the same thing here. And it works pretty damn well. I'm surprised, and stuff like this is kind of harder to do. I use a soft brush for the quilted maple. Didn't do much for the flame maple. I did a shit job on that, I think. Tried to copy it as best as I could. Yeah, there's not really much else to talk about now. Yeah, there's Exisho. Sort of a mascot for the channel, I guess. Might see them in more videos now. Yeah, might be exciting, might not be, but just be another way to sort of define it, define the channel and stuff. But also, like, when it comes to drawing and stuff, I think when I make that's on my next piece of artwork for the original music, because I tend to do that. It's a good way to balance it out, get a bit of extra music in a day and get a bit of extra artwork in a day, and it offsets the sort of distractions I can have sometimes where I go off and watch something, so have something on the side. But yeah, it sort of helps. It does that little extra work for me. This was originally a side thing like that, but I decided not to because I really wanted to get the next track up and running. I'm not sure what to do next, actually. That's a good point. So I've been thinking about it, and there are different things I want to try, but there's just different styles as well, and that complicates things. So I got one sort of based in a Iron Maiden sort of sense, but I'm not 100% sure either, because I'm kind of meh with Iron Maiden. I like the music, but I think Bruce Dickinson can be a very strange person at times, from what I'm aware of, and that just kind of makes it a bit controversial. Which is a shame, really, because again, as always with these sort of things, it's a waste of talent. Yeah, I think whatever I try next, I'll have some interesting ideas. Yeah, this is the artwork, so obviously some people may like it, some people may not. But this also sort of defines a style for me as well, in a way, because it sort of shows if I ever got to making commissions and stuff, this is what you'd be expecting, except for obviously the guitar and stuff. I wouldn't do something this complex ever again. It'd just be a basic top wood and stuff. Also I can do like non-furry as well. I do sort of have to do everything in my kind of style as well. Like, again, it has to be a cute looking character. Yeah, because obviously I've got the hyper piece up there. Sort of GB looking ass. But yeah, also like backgrounds take ages, and doing something like this again, it's pretty much impossible. I kind of peaked with this, I think. It's one of the most advanced backgrounds I've done. It's pretty insane. Also, the idea was putting a background within a reflection, just so you can see there, you've got like the grass and stuff. Talking about old homework, the mountaineer, the clouds there again. You can see the clouds don't actually clip in. I made sure to do that. Yeah, as I said, it's kind of crazy. Do put details into it. Try, even if it may not be to people's liking. The fact is, I did try in the end. Anyway, that's about it. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.